Hello everybody, I'm back again with another DLC that I'm going to cover in as short a time as possible. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's go rapid. So it starts off with Mars reappearing because, you know, why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't a entire planet simply just show the fuck up out of nowhere? You know, that definitely won't cause any issues for anybody else. We're instantly shown to Ikora and Eris. Eris is investigating it. Ikora's like, yo, bitch, what's happening? And then the Cabal show up. This DLC is rapid, right? It just goes from one thing to another extremely quickly, right? They show up carrying part of a cannon, which is crazy. It's weird that nobody saw them setting up. That's all I'm saying. I feel like I would have had the wherewithal to know that a cannon was being built next to me. But hey, that's just me. So, they're building this cannon. All of a sudden, they're not aiming it at the Guardians, which is a very fucking confusing time for everybody involved. And then they're like, well, what are they aiming at? They're aiming at nothing. Nope, psych, they're aiming at Savathun. Who's that? One of the baddest bitches around. Terrifying to look at. I do not fancy this one. They finally created a character that I can't get horny over. I'm just as impressed as you are. And this is where we're sort of starting off. Fast paced, fast action, ready to jump in. And then we start the first mission, the arrival. Obviously we get called in to fuck about. You know, the Mars stuff is pretty basic. I'm not really going to show it here. You know, you run across Mars, you take the cannon, you get fired into Savathun's ship, and this is where shit gets interesting, guys. This is where it fucking picks up. Okay? You enter her spaceship, which is also somehow an entire map. Okay? You like, there's a throne world, there's a bunch of different stuff. Hive somehow have access to the light, which is terrifying. Especially considering some Hive have better abilities than others. Some just respawn, and you have to grab their ghosts and just crush them in your bare hands, right? Which is pretty fucking graphic. Yeah, I'll agree with you there. And others, you know, others just didn't get as lucky. Again, it really sucks to be a Hive because you're really sent against all powerful beings with just your hands. And like, that's insane to me. That's fucking insane. So you fight through her castle, right? Through her, through all this. And then you're like, yo, Savathun, what's up, you silly bitch? And then you go and fight her. And then she dies. Psych, no she didn't. Of course she fucking didn't. Why did you think that she did? I fucking got you, you silly little baby mind individual. Right? Of course you didn't kill her in the first mission. Nobody would have fallen for that. Definitely not me. I definitely didn't get. I definitely didn't go, oh fuck yeah, I did it. You know, that didn't happen. Why would have? Why would that have happened? I'm not silly. Badoy. So anyway, she like roofies you, and like kicks you the fuck out of a mansion, and then you just land back down on Mars, and you're like, yo, damn, what the fuck was any of that? Right? What the fuck just happened? Okay, so you head across to Ikora and you're like, yo, by the way, there's a fucking castle in this fucking spaceship. What's the plan here? What are we gonna do? And you know, you also get told about Savathun's backstory, which I'm gonna be honest, they really fucking violate Savathun. If I was Savathun, I would have also made a blood pact to kill everybody. The first thing they tell you about her is that if it was not for the worm gods, or whatever the fuck they are, the wish worms, whatever, she would have had a completely uneventful life and died with nothing special about her. That is a violation. That is, I wouldn't be taking that. Personally, I wouldn't have it. But clearly she didn't either. You know, she went down with the worms. She got mad powerful, and now she's the Witch Queen, who's the god of tricks. amongst the hive, and it sort of goes over how she made everybody, you know, seem like a silly fucking baby child, right? Which, you know, quite funny, quite funny. So then again, you're running it all over with Ikora, and she's like, hey, by the way, there's a fucking basement to where we're located on the on Mars. And by basement I mean fucking like weird Rubik's Cube dungeon sort of thing. And she's like, go down there, make a fucking weapon, show up, rock out. So you head down there, right? You like awaken it with your psychic abilities, which you somehow have. Again, main character syndrome. And you make the first weapon, which is the Enigma, which is just a couple letters away from Sigma. So that's, again, that's how I'm feeling. So anyways, you make that, and then you head back up to Ikora, who goes, you know what, you got to get back in there. You got to show up, take him out, show him who's boss, fuck him up like a guardian. Am I right? And you're just sort of there like, yeah, Ikora, that sounds like a really fun time. The fuck do you mean? And then that leads on to the next mission, the investigation. So, we've now been given our orders from Ikora. We are going into Savathun's castle. We are taking names. We're fucking shit up, which is really fucking convenient for me, because that's the only thing that I know how to do in this game. So, we show up in the courtyard, we bust our way into the castle area, and then we're sort of trying to work our way through the castle. And what we end up doing is making stuff that was not there suddenly appear. Now I know this makes literally zero sense. I'm gonna get into it a little bit later on in this video, but you just gotta bear with me for a second. I know it makes no sense. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't really understand it at this point. I'm just there like, yeah, cool. I mean, it gives me platforms to jump on, and it points in the right direction that I should be going. But mainly I'm just sort of there to mess some stuff up. As we're taking names and fucking shit up, we get a incoming signal from somebody called Finch, who's just telling us to get out of there, right? You know, leave, stop causing a ruckus. We're trying to be, he's against Savathun as well, and he's like, yo, get the fuck out. And it's like, oh, okay, cool, bet, where should we go? So we're following his instructions, going through. Again, still taking an ungodly amount of names, right? Well, not an amount of names, an ungodly amount of lives, right? We're working our way through, killing some bigger dudes, and, you know, messing some stuff up, and we run into a hive who, through the light, has access to arc abilities. Yeah, you fucking heard that right. This motherfucker can control arc lightning like a fucking warlock class, mate. It's ridiculous. Completely busted, hate fighting against them. I'm now starting to experience what every other enemy has to experience when fighting me. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not a fucking fan. So, we fuck some shit up. Our ghost is being a little whiner. I get it. He's like, oh, I can't believe that they had the opportunity to revive a guardian on Earth and give them the light, and they decided to go to our enemy and fuck us over. Which I kind of get, right? I kind of get it. I can understand why he'd be annoyed, but also, like, get over it, right? It's not like we're going to have to deal with any of those ghosts. Also, I think until we meet somehow my favorite character, Finch. Now, you're probably wondering, how the fuck is a ghost who's not even on your side originally your favorite character? I'm gonna be honest with you, I just fucking feel for the guy, and by guy I obviously mean Ghost. He's decided that he's not going to follow what he was given as orders, and he's making a stand against what he was originally told to do, which is extremely difficult to come from, right? And nobody trusts him. The guy's entertaining, especially if you're going through it on Legendary, right? And you're dying a lot and you gotta listen to a lot of the same, like, cutscenes and dialogue, right? Finch is just sort of a saving grace. I enjoy listening to him. I feel sorry for him, but I can also understand that he's trying to make a change. And somehow this fucking Ghost, to me, is one of the most fleshed out characters, which is fucking crazy. Now, let's hop into the activities. There's not a lot new. There's still like lost sectors, chests, all that sorts of stuff. But I think I'll still cover it because they do add some interesting things like they did with the Shadowkeep DLC. So for this one, because all you're trying to do is figure out how the fuck Savathun is doing what she's doing, you end up looking like the guy from Always Sunny in Philadelphia with just the links, the strings on the board, linking pictures together, trying to figure out how everything works together. That's a really interesting aspect, which I'm glad they like involved. And there's some like forced using the ability to make things show up to get to some lost sectors, and it's kind of like it's just their thing for this DLC, so they were like, how can we include it as much as possible? Sure, that's fine. I get it, right? But yeah, that's really about it. There's nothing really that new. If you've played Destiny for even like an hour or two, nothing's going to be a shock here except for that board, which is quite fun. So this leads right into the next mission called The Ghost, right? Where Finch, my absolute G, well, first off, he doesn't want us giving away that he's working with us. He doesn't want, you know, the ops knowing about him because he's our inside man. Fair play, fair play. But he hears about Osiris's ghost, Sagira, has an entire ass temple, despite the fact that she's like dead. And we're just there like, boom, let's go grab it. So as you're going down, you're fighting Advanced Hive, but you're also fighting Scorn as well, and the Scorn are fighting the Hive for some reason, which is really fucking weird. Like, why are the Scorn there if it's like a memory palace and we had to break in? So there's a lot of confusion with that, but you know, we tank them both. We take no prisoners, we kill absolutely everyone. Hive, Scorn, doesn't matter. Not just the men, but the women and the children too. So anyways, after we cause a massacre, we travel through the cave system, with Argos just fucking bitching at Finch, just there like, oh well, you know, all you did, Finch, was prove that it was a decision to leave. No, like it was, like if Argos wasn't given the same orders, they wouldn't have followed them. That's all I'm saying. Like, I don't know why he's acting so big when he would have done the exact same thing. I don't know why he's chatting all this shit. I'm on Finch's side and thinking that Finch actually is an outlier and possibly, you know, really brave as a ghost to go against his programming or whatever. But anyways, they're just going to carry on bitching at him. We fight a walker that the Scorn bring. Somehow, still very confused about that. You're essentially going through like an underground labyrinth again. They took the stuff from like Shadowkeep, I'm presuming, and just moved it sort of across where there's a top layer and a lower layer, and you're working your way through those lower layers to essentially find the temple with Sagira's shell. As you're making your way up, Ikora gets patched in, baddie in the ear. You know how I feel about that. Bricked up. Anyways, and you're sort of making your way to the Temple of Raffle, like Temple of the Raffle. Not Raffle, Wrath. I'm not really good at that. Wrath. There we go. Aced it. First try. No worries. And you see like a massive fucking Scorn, right? And he's got a shield around him, and you also see like symbols on the side. These symbols show up here for like the first time. And they are a running trend. They fucking love these symbols. So basically all you're doing is you're going into different rooms, you're clearing out the Scorn in there, you're breaking a crystal, because apparently everything's fucking run by crystals. Which, I don't know, maybe crystal people have it right. Maybe the energy from them does do something, because it's clearly doing something in this game, right? The first one, was basically named after me, right? There was Screebs in there. I'm the Screeb Hunter. So obviously that went through flawlessly. I don't want anyone questioning that. I am the Screeb Hunter. Then the others are just scorn. And once you sort of get a hang of it, you damage him for a bit. He fucks off like a pussy. You chase after him. And you're just sort of running that over and over again. There's nothing really... Once you've done it the first time, you know what to do from that point. I mean, I did die, you know, a bit. I died sometimes, right? But I am playing on Legendary, and we all know that I'm not good. Like, I'm called noob for a reason. I'm not good. After you beat him, well, he doesn't really have a name. He's just the Big Scorn. Real fucking generic, that one. You get to Sagira's shell, right? And you hear Savathun's voice and the first reference to the Witness, which is pretty fucking crazy. You know, this is the first time he's popping up. You're hearing it through, like, in your head. You're hearing her talk about, you know, a being of beyond power called the Witness, blah, 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 but not fully remembering. And Ikora was like, yo, I got a theory. Call me Velma, because I'm about to bust this case wide open. Come and see me on Mars. So you travel back to Mars, and she's like, yo, you know how you can control the darkness with, like, your stasis abilities? What if this is just another one of those? And you're just there like, wow, that's pretty fucking smart. It's pretty smart. She's just there like, you know what you should do? You should head back to Europa, go check out one of those pyramids, hop inside, and see if you can develop your powers more, my guy. And I'm just there like, why do you sound like a frat boy? First of all, I don't know why I made Ikora sound like a frat boy, but I guess we're going with it now. And secondly, what a brilliant idea, which leads straight into the next mission called the Communion, right? So we head off to Europa. First of all, fuck the Cabal. So you show up, and the Cabal are there. They're just there like, yo, what's up? We're trying to get inside this fucking pyramid. Cool, 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 cool. They chucked 2 fucking tanks at me. The bastards, right? And countless people. Like, I don't mind slaughtering thousands of Cabal, right? That's okay. 2 fucking tanks? Bit much, don't you think? A little bit excessive, a little bit fucking overkill. Chill the fuck out. Okay, chill the fuck out. But yeah, the fucking silly buggers. Right, so you're fighting through, you know, it takes a while because of the 2 fucking tanks. They fucking shat on me. I'm just gonna say that. I got fucking dicked by 2 tanks because they just one-shot me out of nowhere. Like here. I just get fucking obliterated for no apparent. I was minding my own business, right? I was just trying to kill some of their soldiers, right? And this guy got like a one-shot kill. Whoa, how impressive! Go fuck yourself. But anyways, after you like massacre them all, you go up into the pyramid. You're like, yo, what's up? And the pyramid's just a cheeky boy, you know. It likes to change things around, you know, like different pathways, getting around stuff, you know. It likes changing it up. But the Cabal, boo, boring, basic bitches, right? They aren't a fan of the changing, so they have like these emitter things which stop the pyramid from changing, which is really just like the definition of fun sponge, if you ask me. Like, come on, have a little bit of fun in your life. This one's, there's not really much to talk about, to be honest. You just sort of like, you meet up with a commander. They're not really that impressive. The amount of people that they chuck at you is impressive, right? So they chuck like, they somehow have like hundreds of people that are just willing to die, right? And they just run at you like weapons first. Like, yeah, I'll fuck you up. No, you're not. You're not gonna be that guy, right? And even if you are that guy, I'm gonna live through it, so it's fine. So you go through one commander, and then you go through another room where there's this massive statue which you're trying to commune with, and then you go through another commander, and I'm gonna be fucking honest, I've never been fucking cucked as much as I was during this mission. Everything was going well, everything was going fine, dandy even, I would say. And then, as I'm on the final fucking wave, I get stuck in a wall. Yeah, sit with that silence. That's how I felt. I had to blow myself up. Not blow my... Don't take that out of context. I did not blow myself. I blew myself up. Right? So annoying. I was so annoyed because I was like, yeah, easy, one shot. Did not. I could have done it in one go, but I wasn't given the opportunity to because of a goddamn wall. Anyways, fix your game, Bungie. So, you know, you fuck up the Cabal, 3 basic bitches, compared to what you've been fighting, they're not really that bad. And then you commune with the middle of the pyramid, because, you know, for some reason the pyramids really fucking like us. I don't know why it is. I don't know why, but they're just there, like, I guess because of that Shadowkeep conversation we had, where they're like, we'll be your salvation. And ever since then, they've been a real fucking big fan. I don't get it. Personally, we haven't really done anything to benefit them, but they're there anyways. So we commune with it, and then we head back to Ikora, and she's just there like, well, that should have really unlocked something. According to all of our scientists, we believe that the reason that nothing has shown up is due to the fact that you aren't in the throne world. And it's just there like, what? And it's just like, there's some psychic energy. They're just chucking buzzwords at me now, like, to make themselves sound smart. They have no fucking idea why shit is working and why shit isn't. I don't know why they're pretending like they fucking do. They know as much as I do. And if anything, I know more because I can do the weird psychic shit, okay? So, back the fuck up. So, she's like, you need to go to this location in the psychic throne world to go do a certain thing, and then we'll be able to see the memories, and then that leads straight into the mission, the mirror. Okay, there's nothing crazy about this mission. There's no real like crazy combat or really crazy like fucking enemy types or anything like that. But fuck me, this is where it starts to be a mind fuck. So bear with me. I'm gonna try to explain this in the simplest fucking form possible. So as you're going through, you're trying to get to where the psychic energy is the strongest, so that you can amplify Segura's shell, which is again a sentence I never thought I'd ever say in my life. Okay, but bear with me. As you're making your way down there, you're using your psychic enhanced energy to create pathways and platforms. And the way that they describe this, I'm not sure what the fuck they're smoking at Bungie, but it's some crazy level shit, right? They describe it as, because it once existed and was in somebody's memory that it did exist, it can now exist again. Which essentially means if you saw a cave and then a landslide happened and that cave no longer existed, because you remembered that a cave existed, you can then recreate that cave. What the flying fuck does that even mean? But anyways, you sort of blitz through it, you work around the puzzles. I'm not going to give you the pain of watching me do them, because as we all know, I'm shit at puzzles. So we then get to go into this like blue daydream world where it's all made out of psychic energy, and we put Segura's shell on a table and we get to watch back. So we get to see Savathun, how she sees the witness for the first time and how he uses darkness. We get that first description of him, but she's like, fuck that shit, I'm my own boss, fuck him, I'm gonna do this my own way. Fair enough, can't hate a player. And then she's like, oh yeah, Osiris had many enemies, but his one friend Ikora knows what's up. And then it's like, oh damn, what the fuck? And Finch is just there like, yo, come see me, I've got an idea, I knew my lead would be good. And so he comes in with this new lead, talking about how there's this throne room and this sort of memorial site to Oryx, Savathun's brother. And so this then leads straight into the Lightblade, which is just a strike that you end up doing. So you start off going through her main courtyard, you bust your way through, again, fucking shit up as you always do, head through the main castle area, into the back, and you're going through like this swamp marsh area, where you're being crushed by darkness if you don't run through the light. Attacked by Screebs, of course you are, classic go-to. And then there's this massive battle outside of Oryx's temple. There's ogres, there's knights, there's shriekers, and you see the person guarding Oryx's temple. It turns out he did not get on well with Oryx, which is why it's quite funny that Savathûn has him protecting his essential like grave, realistically. So you hop in there, again, fuck him up. It's basically just a super farming area. There's so many fucking orbs that just get pumped out, and you find a new memory fragment inside of the temple. So you take that back to the psychic dream world, and obviously there's fucking so many puzzles now. Again, I'm gonna save you it because I had to have a hint pop up to describe what the fuck I was supposed to be doing, because I had no idea what I was supposed to be doing. So you pump that in, and then you get to see the memory fragment associated with that, where it sort of discusses Savathûn's plan. And essentially what she wants to do is, from the knowledge that she has taken from her brother's tablets, which are, again, so she took her brother's iPad Pro, she went through it and found some interesting history on there, which turned out to be how to transport things to another dimension, which is what she has successfully done in her throne world. It's not in the same plane of existence as the normal world, and she's going to offer that plane of existence to the traveller to protect it from its enemies, and then just trap it in this other dimension. Now, Ikora is blaming herself for it. She has a feeling that it was her fault, and she mentions a new lead set up by Finch, which leads directly into the cunning. So Finch gets a new lead. I'm going to be honest. He does not do a good job selling this. He has no idea what's there really, or why something would be there, but he just sort of has like a gut feeling based off of the fact that it's a temple made for Savathûn's younger self, Safuna. She really changed her name up quite a bit. It's like it's the bare minimum name change. There's like fucking no change at all there. It's like she added on like a letter at the end of her name. She's like, there, yeah, that'll be enough. I don't need to change it that much. But yeah, so there's a lot of concerns. No one's really that certain about it, and they're like, why are you so sure that something's going to be there? Are you sure it's not going to be a trap? No one really knows. So you head across to this temple. You use your psychic abilities to make pathways across. Because, you know, apparently at some point there were fucking rocks in the middle of fucking nowhere. So that's fine. Just brings back the memories for them. And you're fighting your way through. It's like an old school gothic castle, right? It looks pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. Like she had some mad designs for this place. This place does look cool as shit. I can't lie there. And then I'm just gonna say fuck this boss battle, right? This boss battle dicked on me so much. There's these void shielded Scorn around the outside. There's a Scorn boss. No, it's not even a Scorn boss. It's a hive with the ability of a hunter. Broken as shit. Never seen anything more broken in my life. Fucking nerf him, dude. Like, keep me at my level, but nerf that. Nerf that hive. They have their blade barrage every like 5 seconds. It's ridiculous, dude. But anyway, I fucked them up. And then you use the symbols. Yeah, the numbers, Mason, the numbers. But yeah, use the symbols to create platforms to then grab what looks like a Hamara. Sorry, I'm terrible at this. The worm gods. It looks like a baby version of them. So you go and grab it, which then creates an illusion. And this boss fight is actually my favorite in the entirety of the DLC. I like how there's a lot of different levels to it, but it's not ridiculous. It's still fun. It's still interesting. You know, there's a wave, and then you fight the massive worm god, and you shoot it in its weak spot. I enjoyed this one. This one was really fun. Actually, I did say it's my most favorite. Probably my second favorite. My most favorite is part of the final boss fight, and I'll get into that when I get there because I have mixed feelings on that boss fight. So you grab the baby worm god thing, and we'll keep this in mind for later. We try to head to the memory world, and we just get fucking kicked out. Like, we can't get in for some reason. It kills me. It's a really sad moment for me, because I got killed by a fucking door. Sad times. And everyone's like, yo, why the fuck can't we go in? Finch, what was the point? Guardian nearly died trying to get this, which I'm like, yeah, bro, I kind of did. Why? It's a dead end. There's nowhere for us to go from here. This was our last idea of where the fuck we could go. So we head back to Mars to try to discuss this with Ikora, and Ikora and Zavala are having a heated conversation. It's like mum and dad fighting. It's terrible. You're just sort of there like, what the fuck's going on? He feels betrayed because he wasn't brought in, and she's just there like, look, I had to take the lead. Which, like, yeah, she's right, but also she has been tricked by Savathûn before, so you can sort of see both sides. And then Ikora just takes herself off the board because she blames herself, because she's like, I think it was me that caused all of this. Guys, I'm so sorry. And just dips. And you're left with Eris having a source on where we can get something new. So that whole being blocked off, nowhere else to go, didn't really last that long. It lasted a whole 5 seconds. And Eris was like, yeah, we can just go here instead. This one's trusted. Why didn't we go there to begin with? Who the fuck knows? But anyway, that then leads straight into the last chance. So this is our final lead. We have nowhere to go after this, and we're hoping that this will resolve everything, because if it doesn't, we are kind of fucked. So, we head into the throne world, fucking shit up as always, taking names, doing our bit, doing our part, you know, killing so many enemies, there's no real point in even really discussing it that much. So, this is the first mission that Zavala is in charge of, and it is the final one, thank fuck, because, oh my god, I love this voice actor, got nothing against him, but his character in this part of the DLC, fuck me, he's annoying, right? He's just there like, why can't we use the light to do all the things that the darkness can? I don't know, fucker. I don't shower with fire because that's not what fire is useful for. I also wouldn't cook with just water. You know, different things have different uses. Maybe you should take that into account and stop being so narrow-minded, right? He's annoying in this. So you fight your way into the like throne area and upper spire, and Eris is going, if there's something important, it will be protected by the wizards, because there's no way Savathûn would trust something so valuable to anyone else but the wizards. So we fuck up the wizards. Again, they have like lightning powers, but by this point, fuck them. Easy clap. You then go and you collect a crystal shard. Now this crystal shard has the memory fragments that we're looking for. We then head back into the memory dimension, memory world, and do some more puzzles. I'm just gonna skip past this, most yeah, we'll skip past this. It takes a while. Graham gets very confused because I didn't realise that different things were supposed to be, it was like one symbol for each bit. I didn't realise that. I thought it was in one area. I get confused sometimes, okay? Sue me. Like, chill out. So, we then have to kill some hive for the first time in this world, which is kind of weird. Didn't know they could be there, but we do it anyway. And then we start watching the memories, and we get to see how Savathûn got the light. Turns out, she died, and the Traveler just gave it to her. Like, she was on her deathbed, she was defeated, she was dying, and then the Traveler gave her the light, which is confusing as fuck. And then Savathûn shows up here and is like, yo, thanks so much for my memories, because as we know, we don't remember anything from before we get turned to a user of the light. You don't remember your previous life. So we've just been telling Savathûn everything about her past and her entire mission and all of her goals. Before this point, she had no fucking idea about any of it. She was just sort of fucking about, I guess. And so she goes, yo, cheers, I'm gonna go complete my mission. Thanks for all your help though. I'm gonna kill you now because you've served your purpose. So we go, oh fuck, and we get the fuck out of Dodge, because there's no way we're sticking around for that shit. And from this point onwards, shit's been going fast throughout all of this. Shit picks up into another gear. It's like Fast and Furious. Every time you keep on going up a gear, even though it makes no sense. Even though like they should be on gear 20. Okay? So, to say this causes problems is an understatement, to be honest. The entire Vanguard Council is like, yo, what the fuck is going on? Why the fuck has the Traveller given our greatest enemy access to the light? What the fuck is happening here? Why has this happened? Is the Traveller going to leave us? Are we going to become the new Fallen? Like, what's going on? And then Ikora, as the boss bitch that she is, goes, yo, I don't fucking give a shit. Drops mic. I don't care if the Traveller gave her the light. I couldn't give two shits. I'm gonna go fuck over Savathun, right, and put her in her place, right? Because it doesn't matter, we're here to protect humanity. And goddamn, is that a powerful speech. That was a fucking boss moment. I respect the shit out of that. That was such a fun cutscene to watch. But also, what I do find quite funny about this bit, and a little bit side tangent, a little bit less serious, is that they refer to this as a heist. Like, it's just giving me Despicable Me vibes. Like, Savathun is Gru, the Hive are our minions, right? And she's trying to steal the moon. Like, she's trying to steal the Traveller like it's Ocean's 11, but in reality, it's just Despicable Me. That's all it is. That's literally a one-for-one. But anyway, Ikora then has an idea. She goes, okay, so you weren't able to get into the memory world with the worm sapling, or whatever the fuck it is. What if it's not her memories? What if it's something else? So she takes it to the Rubik's Cube sex dungeon on Mars. She does a little incantation, and she finds out the memories that were stored within it. It turns out it is still alive. It's like hibernating or some shit. And she finds out the memories related to that, which Savathun doesn't know and never knew. Turns out, she was originally supposed to be picked by the Traveller. She was supposed to have access to the light, and the Hive were never supposed to be this bloodthirsty race. But the Worm Gods wanted access to her first, so they tricked Savathun, the goddess of fucking tricks, right, into going down into the deep, pledging allegiance to the worms, getting power, avoiding a great apocalypse, and as in essence giving the worms exactly what they wanted. And that's why the Traveller picked her. She was always supposed to have the light, but the worms got to her first, and they corrupted that going forward. So this is massive. This is crazy. Okay? We know something that Savathun doesn't for the very first time, which she never knew, was that she was tricked and played like a fucking chump. Beta energy. So we think if we get to Savathun and we let her know that she was tricked, she might change her mind. You know? It's a pretty long shot, but at the end of the day we got to try to do anything to make sure that she does not complete this ritual. And so we're going into this final mission with this sole goal of being like, hey, by the way, you were tricked by the worms. You actually always supposed to have access to the light, and somehow that's supposed to stop her. But anyways, let's go see how that goes in the final mission. The ritual. Okay, so as I've said before, we're trying to take down Savathun. We're trying to stop her from doing a ritual which takes the Traveller from our dimension into her dimension. Already a weird fucking concept. But anyway, let's go. Let's go into this final mission because it starts off fucking strong. So we're driving in there as fast as we can. We're clearing out the front enemies, you know, the front line. We're trying to get through the gates, right? We're clearing out so many. And then this massive fucking ogre comes out of a fucking portal, right? And we're just there like, I'm thinking, easy clap, I'll just kill it. Ikora's like, nah G, let me handle this. She fucking Tokyo drifts in a spaceship, hops out, flies, supernovas it in the face, then turns into like an electric god and shoots away the portal so that we can get through the front door. Why the fuck is she not doing this? Like, for real? Like, she just did everything that I could never do. Alright? Anyways, you know, we're working our way through the castle. We're going through, we're taking names, taking down some, you know, hive with some light, whatever. Then we meet the first boss, right? The first, like, sort of boss encounter. In here, there's a main center room, and there's two rooms. One on the left, one on the right. You go through each of the rooms on the side. You clear out the people in there. You see a string of symbols above a portal. You hop through the portal. You clear everyone there that's through the portal, and then after you've destroyed the crystals, you then hop through. You then hop through the portal which has the string on the original door. It's kind of difficult to figure out for a first time, but like you pick onto it pretty quickly. Once you realise where the stuff is and what the sort of plan is, you can pick up pretty quickly. It's just rinse and repeat on that. After you hop through, you then grab an orb, you slam dunk that shit, and then you can destroy the crystals above the final enemy that you got to kill, which is an arc-wielding wizard. Arc-wielding wizard. Say that 5 times fast, fucking dare you. So, obviously, I clear them out. It gets kind of annoying. Fuck the Shriekers. Fuck the Shriekers. I hate the Shriekers. All Shriekers are pussies. So you work your way out, and then it's like cinematic as fuck. You hop into this like elevator type thing, where it's not even an elevator, it's just sort of like a tractor cannon. You hop into there, and you're going underneath this massive Gothic cathedral looking church bell, and you get to the top of this long staircase. In the middle of it, Savathûn is appearing out of nowhere. The Traveller is above you. There's an island across the lake. Oh my god, is this shit picturesque, right? And then Savathûn shows up. This is the most badass boss fight. It's better than the one before. It's my favorite fucking boss fight. And then I'll get into, you know, my least favorite boss fight very shortly after. So, you're fighting Savathûn. As you lower her down, enemies spawn in. You get 3 hive all at once, all with light capabilities, and enemies still spawning in. So you have the Arc Wizard, the Solar, I don't know what hive he is, but you know, there's a Solar hive. You got a Void hive. Holy shit, this battle is intense. You kill all of them. You take out Savathûn. Oh my god, you got to like, it's a lot of waiting game, especially on Legendary. Tension is high. You kill her. You're like, fuck yes, I fucking killed this bitch. It's over. It's done. I've killed the main bad. Psych, no you didn't. Not at all. She's just there like, oh, you're just like, you follow what you think the Traveller wants. It's not actually what the Traveller wants. I know what's best for the Traveller. For some reason that really fucking riles up your ghost. So then there's a bridge. You run across the bridge to the island that was in the background. Right. And then Savathûn shows up. Again. So you start shooting her, except you do no damage. Turns out you got to kill the wizards on the outside, take their essence, chuck that in the middle, and then like each phase you're going through into the like psychic realm. You're killing these weavers, which are keeping the Traveller there, and you're trying to convince Savathûn. She's like, oh, I didn't know that. She was like, oh, I was tricked, how did I not see that? And then you get sent out, and then you damage her again, and you take down like 1/5 of her health bar after like 12 minutes, even though everything you're doing is critical hit because you've got this like Fred Cutter buff. Everything's a critical hit on her, but you're still doing fucking barely any damage. You then head back, and this time there's more hive there, and they're trying to attack you. And I'm not sure if you can tell by my voice, I was so into it. The first boss fight, I think the first bit where you're fighting her, you're doing damage to her, but you're also like managing these like spawning enemies. It was so fun. I had so much fun with that. I was gleeful. I was so happy. I was enjoying myself as I was fighting. This bit, I'm gonna be honest. Granted, I was 8 hours in. I played it all in one day. right? But I was also just there like, for real? Like, I already killed her. Like, why would you take... You immediately took away my win. Like, I got a win, and then you immediately just there like, but it's not an actual win. What does that even mean? The fuck does that even mean? So yeah, this bit I get somewhat triggered, right? So yeah, you're killing off all these weavers. You know, you're using your psychic ability to create platforms, all that fun stuff. You put like the memory on again, like that's going to change anything. She's just there like, oh, you think you know who I am? How about you tell me who I really am? Stupid line. And then comes the most painful bit. Alright, I'm gonna let you guys know, right? Here's a hot fucking tip. If you're playing this mission solo on Legendary and you're playing it as a hunter, play a Void Invisibility build. Just trust me, it's the only way you're going to survive. Because I was playing this as a solar hunter build, thinking, oh, if I can get that damage out, class. No, fuck this bitch. Seriously, fuck him. Jesus fucking Christ. It was awful. It was such a painful experience that I genuinely rage quit. But anyway, I came back, Void build, cleaned up. She's just there like, oh, wow. To be honest, I was too excited that she died. So you kill her, her ghost disappears. She's warning about the witness. You get to see the witness, which is kind of interesting. You meet up with Ikora. She's like, yo, we need to prepare for the witness. You get some cool legendaries. I'm not gonna lie. Overall, right? I'm just gonna say this. I did enjoy this DLC. This DLC is my favorite, but I can't give it a 10. Right? This DLC is a solid 9 for me. I fucking loved it. I loved Finch. I loved the investigations. I loved the whole Witch Queen world. The fact that the Hive had the light. They were challenging. On Legendary, like, this was the first time I ever was able to have like Legendary campaign missions. It was a lot of fun. But where it fell short for me, personally, it might be different for other people, was that final boss fight. I feel like they took away, if it ended with like, you run across the bridge and then you go through all of that, that's fine, but it's the fact that you kill her like 5 times. I mean, I said wizards by mistake. No, you kill smaller versions of Savathûn to then get into the memory world the first time, right? You kill her once on mainland, then 3 times across the bridge, so that's 4. You take out a chunk of her health, the big one. When you're in the memory place, you kill her another 3 times. I'm now up to 8 times you kill her, right, in this one mission. I'm just saying, to me, I'm just there like, what's the fucking point? What's the actual point? She doesn't die. I just won an insane boss fight, right, and I'm immediately just, that wind's just taken away. So that took all the wind out of my sails. And I had to come back to do it. I had to come back to finish it because I was just so like, what's the fucking point? I'm done now. Like, I don't care. Like, I got this big hype and I went, fuck yes, because it was super difficult. And then she just goes, oh yeah, I didn't die. And I'm just there like, what? And that's what really fucking pissed me off. Because it wasn't like, haha, gotcha. It was like, here's your win, I'm gonna take that away from you. And that's how it came across to me. It was stealing a win. It was great when she died the final time, yeah, but that was me more celebrating because I no longer had to fight her than because I actually felt that I like accomplished something. Because when you're fighting her in the final bit, it's just monotonous, right? But anyways, it's a fucking great DLC from start to nearly the finish. I would give it a 10 if it wasn't for that final boss fight. But it's a great story. It's real fucking interesting. It sets up the witness. It sets up this whole light area, the traveler's goals. Whose side is the traveler on? Who are we fighting for? What are we fighting for? And like how everyone comes together despite not knowing everything. And I find it to be a fucking great story. But seriously, fuck that final boss fight. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed watching. I hope this catches you up. I hope you understand slightly more about it. But yeah, have a lovely time. Out.